So, we've all seen AI learn to talk, to write, even to make art. But what happens when we stop just talking to it and start giving it a to-do list? Today, we are diving deep into something called Agentic RAG. It's the tech that's turning AI from a clever chatbot into a genuine, autonomous digital worker. All right, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll kick things off with a big problem that AI is facing right now. Then we'll introduce the two key technologies that are solving it. We'll see how they're being put to work in the real world. And finally, we'll explore the new challenges and, of course, the solutions that come with all this new power. Okay, let's set the stage. Large language models, LLMs, they are incredibly powerful, but they have this fundamental dilemma that's really holding them back from being used in, let's say, high-stakes situations. And that dilemma, it really just boils down to this one question. It's one thing for an AI to spit out fluent-sounding text, right? It's a whole other thing to make sure that text is based in reality, and then actually use it to get things done in the real world, reliably. The biggest problem by far is what everyone calls hallucination. See, LLMs are trained on a fixed snapshot of data. Their knowledge literally has a cutoff date. So they can't access real-time info, and they have no clue which sources are trustworthy and which aren't. And this leads them to state things with total confidence that are just plain wrong. That's a huge barrier for any serious company looking to use this stuff. So the first piece of the puzzle is this brilliant framework designed to anchor these models in reality. It's called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or, RAG for short. To put it simply, RAG connects the AI to a trusted external knowledge base. Think of a company's internal documents or a library of current regulations. Before the AI even thinks about answering you, it first does a search to find the most relevant, verifiable facts. It's like it's getting its notes in order before it opens its mouth. And you can see the difference so clearly here. On the left, a standard LLM is just kind of guessing based on old data it was trained on. But on the right, the RAG-powered LLM is working with a safety net of facts. Its answers are grounded, which makes them way more likely to be accurate, relevant, and, trustworthy. But being grounded in facts is only half the battle. What if we want the AI to do more than just answer our questions? What if we want it to actually complete complex tasks for us? Well, this is where we take the real leap into action. And this is Agentic RAG. It fuses that fact-checking power of RAG with the autonomy of an AI agent. This agent can reason, it can plan, and it can use digital tools like, say, accessing live data through an API or running a calculation to actually get a job done. We've basically gone from a simple Q&A machine to a digital worker that can execute a whole to-do list. This diagram really shows you how it works. The agent is like the conductor of an orchestra. When you give it a request, the agent, that's the LLM brain, decides which tools to use. It might pull facts from its knowledge base, grab some live data with a tool, and then bring it all together into a single, cited answer. It's this dynamic reasoning loop. So what actually makes an AI an agent? It really comes down to these four things. You've got the agent core, that's the base model and its goals. It has memory, so it learns from what it did before. It has tools, its toolbox of what it can do. And, crucially, it has a planning module to strategize and break down big problems into smaller steps. And this all comes together in what's called the agentic loop. The agent plans its attack, retrieves the facts it needs with RAG, uses its tools to take action, and then finally generates a complete result. It can even go through this loop again and again, refining its approach until the goal is totally met. Now, this isn't just theory, it's already happening out there. So let's look at some really powerful examples of how Agentic RAG is changing the game across different industries. We're seeing incredible applications everywhere. In finance, it's being used for automated risk modeling. In healthcare, it's helping doctors by connecting patient data with the latest medical research. For customer support, it gives you personalized real-time answers. And in compliance, it automates the incredibly tedious work of checking regulations and sanctions lists. And this is where it gets really cool. We're not just talking about one single agent working alone. As this quote points out, we're starting to see agentic crews. That is, teams of specialized AIs that actually collaborate. Each one has a specific role, and together, they tackle massively complex tasks, just like a human team would. Okay, but giving AI this much autonomy, this much access to data, it creates a whole new world of challenges. As they say, with great power comes the need for great responsibility. And the risks are very real. Agents handling sensitive info could leak personal or business data. They can amplify biases that already exist in the data. Bad actors can try to jailbreak them with clever prompts. And yep, even with RAG, they can still misinterpret things, leading to big failures in critical areas like legal compliance. And please do not underestimate that hallucination risk. Get this. One study on complex legal questions found that without being grounded in facts, LLMs could be wrong up to 82% of the time. Just let that sink in. That one number tells you exactly why flying blind is not an option and why building in guardrails is absolutely essential. So, how do we manage these risks? With guardrails. For instance, to stop sensitive personal information from getting leaked, a guardrail can automatically tokenize that data, basically swapping it out for a secure, anonymous placeholder, and then encrypt it. That way, the agent itself never even touches the raw sensitive info. But look, technology isn't a silver bullet. The ultimate guardrail, especially when the stakes are high in fields like medicine or finance, has to be a human in the loop. The AI's role should be to act as a powerful assistant, a co-pilot, if you will, providing analysis and suggestions, but the final call, the accountability, that always has to rest with a human expert. And all of this leads us to the million-dollar question. What does this mean for the future of work? Are these agents going to be our collaborators or our competitors? This quote kind of hints at what's coming down the pike. We're moving towards agents that can actually improve themselves. They'll learn from feedback, adapt on the fly, and even take on new roles they weren't programmed for. The technology is just evolving at a dizzying speed. Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. It's really becoming less a question of if we'll be working alongside AI agents and a whole lot more question of when and how. The rise of the digital worker is officially here, and you can bet it's going to change, well, just about everything.